Welcome back to English Resonance, the podcast that's like a high-octane cheer squad, rallying you to conquer English with unstoppable confidence and a huge grin. I'm Elena, your fellow learner and biggest cheerleader, practically bursting with excitement because you're back with our incredible English Resonance community. Picture yourself chatting effortlessly with global friends, nailing job interviews, or exploring vibrant cities abroad, all powered by your growing English skills. Our YouTube channel, with its crystal clear audio and dynamic editing, is your ultimate guide, turning every episode into a thrilling step toward fluency. Today, I'm diving solo into a question that's on every learner's mind. How long does it take to level up your grammar from A1 to C2? And why isn't grammar enough to make you truly fluent? We'll map out each stage, share realistic timelines, and uncover why listening, speaking, reading, and writing are your secret weapons. So, grab your headphones, smash that like and subscribe button on our English Resonance YouTube channel, follow us on social media for daily fluency tips, and let's charge into this epic journey together. Let me share a little secret. When I started learning English, I thought grammar was the magic wand for fluency. I'd memorize rules like my life depended on it. Subject, verb, agreement, past tense, you name it. But when I tried to speak, my brain would freeze and I'd stumble over sentences like, I go to store. Sound familiar? Grammar is just one piece of the puzzle, like the skeleton of a house. It gives structure, but without walls, windows, and a cozy interior, it's not a home. Fluency comes from blending grammar with listening, speaking, reading, and writing in real-world context. Today, I'll guide you through the 6 CEFR levels, A1 to C2, detailing how long it takes to master grammar at each level, what you're learning, and why grammar alone is like cooking a gourmet meal with just a recipe book. You need to taste, stir, and experiment to make it delicious. Join me as we explore how English Resonance's YouTube podcasts, with their top-notch audio, help you balance grammar with fluency. Let's dive into this adventure. A1, beginner level. This is where your journey kicks off, like landing in a new city with a tiny phrasebook. At A1, you're learning the absolute basics: the verb to be, I am, you are, simple present tense, I walk, she runs, and articles, an, the. You're forming short sentences like, my name is Elena, or I like coffee. Pronunciation is a hurdle. I used to say book like buck and laugh at my mistakes. Grammar feels like a simple puzzle, but mixing up he is and she is common. Mastering A1 grammar takes about 30 to 50 hours of focused study, or 1 to 2 months with 3 to 5 hours weekly. Listening is your foundation, helping you catch English's rhythm, like hearing a song's beat for the first time. I'd listen to English Resonance's beginner podcast on YouTube with their crisp audio, repeating phrases like, I am happy. Try this. Listen to one English Resonance episode daily, jot down 3 phrases like, this is my friend, and practice them out loud while imagining a greeting. Our vibrant editing makes it fun, building a solid grammar base. Hit that subscribe button on our YouTube channel to keep these episodes coming, and you'll spark your journey with confidence. A2, elementary level. Now you're stepping up, like a hiker climbing a gentle slope. At A2, you're tackling simple conversations, daily routines, like I wake up at 7, simple past tense, I visited a park, and structures like there is, there are, like there is a cat. Your vocabulary is limited, so you might say I goated instead of went and feel frustrated. I remember struggling to order food, blanking on can you make it quick? So embarrassing. Expect 70 to 100 hours to master A2 grammar, or 3 to 4 months with regular study. Listening helps you internalize correct forms, like hearing I went in context. I'd play English Resonance's YouTube episodes while cooking, soaking up phrases like, I ate pizza yesterday. Try this. Listen to one English Resonance podcast daily, jot down 3 phrases like, There are 2 books, and practice them in a mock scenario, like ordering at a cafe. Our high-quality audio keeps you engaged, making learning a breeze. Smash that like and subscribe button on our YouTube channel, and you'll climb to A2 grammar ready for real conversations. B1, intermediate level. Things are getting exciting, like finding your rhythm in a marathon. At B1, you're tackling complex grammar. Present perfect, I have just eaten, modals, can, must, should, and basic conditionals, if I study, I learn. You can discuss experiences or plans, but mistakes like I have went creep in. I once said, I can to help instead of I can help, and my friend just grinned. Mastering B1 grammar takes about 150 to 200 hours, about 6 to 8 months total with 5 to 10 hours weekly. Listening is key to catch nuances, like the difference between I did and I've done. I'd binge the English Resonance's YouTube podcast with their clear sound to practice phrases like I've never been there. Try this. Listen to one English Resonance episode daily. Repeat 4 sentences like, if I had time, I'd travel, and use them in a journal or chat with a friend. Our engaging editing keeps you hooked, making learning fun. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, hit that like button, and you'll navigate B1 grammar with confidence, ready for richer conversations. B2, upper intermediate level. Now you're soaring, like a bird spreading its wings. At B2, you're mastering complex grammar. Past perfect, I had finished. Passive voice, the book was read. And intricate conditionals, if I had known, I would have come. You can write emails or join discussions, but phrasal verbs like look up versus look after can trip you up. I once said, I looked after the data with I looked up the data. Oops. It takes 200 to 250 hours to solidify B2 grammar, about a year total with steady effort. Listening helps you grasp natural usage, like hearing the project was completed in context. I'd listen to English Resonance's YouTube episodes during commutes, practicing phrases like, I wish I had studied more. Try this. Listen daily to one English Resonance podcast, note 5 phrases like, the room was cleaned, and use them in emails or group chats. Our top-notch audio makes learning seamless, and our editing keeps it fun. Smash that like and subscribe button on our YouTube channel, and you'll master B2 grammar with confidence, ready to shine in professional and social settings. C1, advanced level. Welcome to the big leagues, where you're refining grammar like a sculptor perfecting a statue. At C1, you're tackling subtle nuances, advanced conditionals, had I known, I'd have acted, embedded clauses. What I love about English is its flexibility, and precise modals, I might have misunderstood. You're fluent in most situations, but small errors like misusing prepositions persist. I once said interested for instead of in and cringed. Expect 300 to 400 hours to master C1 grammar, roughly 1.5 to 2 years total with consistent study. Listening polishes your skills, helping you catch native-like patterns. I'd immerse myself in English Resonance's YouTube podcast with their crisp audio to practice phrases like, I should have known better. Try this. Listen daily to one English Resonance podcast, repeat 6 complex sentences like, what she said surprised me, and use them in discussions or presentations. Our vibrant editing makes every episode a thrill, keeping you motivated. Hit that subscribe button on our YouTube channel, and you'll refine C1 grammar with precision, ready for almost any challenge. C2, mastery level. This is the pinnacle, where grammar becomes instinct, like breathing. At C2, you're not just following rules, you're playing with English like a poet or diplomat. You use advanced structures effortlessly. Subjunctives, like I wish I were there, nuanced phrasing, it's high time we acted, and varied registers for different contexts. You can debate, joke, or write essays with native-like precision. I remember using spill the beans in a casual chat and feeling like a rock star. Reaching C2 grammar takes 1,000 plus hours from A1, potentially 2 to 3 years or more, especially without immersion. Listening keeps your skills sharp, exposing you to slang and cultural nuances. I tune into English Resonance's YouTube episodes to stay fresh, practicing phrases like, "This hits the nail on the head." Try this. Listen weekly to one English Resonance podcast, mimic 5 advanced phrases like, "I'm over the moon," and use them in real conversations. Our high-quality audio and editing make learning a joy. Smash that like and subscribe button on our YouTube channel, and you'll own C2 grammar like a true master. Why does grammar alone fall short? Because English is a living language built in real moments, conversations, mistakes, laughter. I learned this the hard way. I'd study rules for hours, but when I tried to speak, I'd freeze like a deer in headlights because I hadn't practiced listening or speaking enough. Grammar is the skeleton, but fluency needs muscles, listening to native speech, speaking despite errors, and reading for context. For example, I memorized past perfect, but couldn't use it until I heard it on English Resonance's YouTube podcasts. Like, I had just left when she called. Listening builds intuition, speaking builds confidence, and reading ties it all together. Without these, you're like a chef with the recipe but no ingredients. Try this. Balance your study. 30% grammar, 30% listening to English Resonance YouTube episodes, 30% speaking practice, and 10% reading. Our clear audio makes listening a breeze, and our editing keeps you engaged. Subscribe to our English Resonance YouTube channel, hit that like button, and you'll see fluency isn't just grammar, it's a vibrant, living skill. Let's talk about listening, your secret weapon for fluency. At every level, listening to native speakers helps you absorb grammar naturally, like how "I've been" is used for emphasis. I'd listen to English Resonance's YouTube podcast while walking, catching phrases like "I'm all ears," and soon I was using them without thinking. At A1, it helps you hear basic sentence patterns. At C2, it sharpens your ear for slang and nuances. I once struggled to understand "keep up" until I heard it in a podcast context, like "you need to keep up with the news." Try this. Dedicate 15 minutes daily to English Resonance's YouTube episodes, repeating 5 phrases like, "Let's dive in," and practice them in mock conversations, like chatting with a friend. Combine this with speaking practice, say 10 minutes daily, and weekly reading of short articles. Our high-quality audio makes every word crystal clear, and our vibrant editing keeps you hooked. Smash that like and subscribe button on our YouTube channel, and you'll turn listening into a fluency superpower. Speaking is just as crucial. Grammar rules don't stick until you use them in real life. I'd study conditionals but couldn't say, "If I were you, I'd try," until I practiced speaking aloud even with mistakes. At B1, I'd say, "I messed up, but I'm learning," and laugh off errors. It built my confidence. Speaking helps you internalize grammar like using "I've been" correctly after practicing it in conversations. Try this. After listening to a English Resonance YouTube podcast, pick 5 phrases like "This is a game changer," and use them in a 10-minute speaking practice, either with a friend or to your mirror. At A1, practice simple sentences. At C2, try debates or storytelling. Our podcast's crisp audio makes it easy to mimic native speakers, and our editing keeps you motivated. Combine this with grammar study and reading. Subscribe to our English Resonance YouTube channel, hit that like button, and you'll find speaking transforms your grammar into living language. Reading and writing are the glue that ties grammar to fluency. Reading articles, stories, or social media posts shows how grammar works naturally, like seeing "the decision was made" in a news article. I'd read short stories at B1 and notice how past perfect fit into narratives, making it easier to use. Writing helps you practice grammar actively. Try journaling with phrases from English Resonance's podcasts, like "I wish I had known earlier." At A2, write simple sentences. At C1, try essays or emails. I once wrote "I interested in" instead of "I'm interested in," but reading more helped me fix it. Try this. Read a short English article weekly, note 5 grammar structures, and use them in a short paragraph. Listen to One English Resonance YouTube episode daily to reinforce these patterns. Our high-quality audio and engaging editing make learning seamless. Smash that like and subscribe button on our YouTube channel, and you'll see reading and writing boost your fluency beyond grammar. What's a realistic timeline for fluency? If you study consistently, 10 hours a week, blending grammar, 30%, listening to English Resonance podcasts, 30%, speaking, 30%, and reading and writing, 10%, you can reach a solid B2 in about a year, or early C1 in 1.5 to 2 years. C2 might take 2 to 3 years or more, especially without immersion in an English-speaking country. I stalled at B1 for months because I focused only on grammar, unable to hold a conversation until I heard it on English Resonance's podcasts, which taught me phrases like, "I'm getting the hang of it." Try this. Listen to One English Resonance episode daily. Pick 5 phrases like, "This is making sense now," and practice them in mock conversations like chatting with a friend. Combine this with speaking practice, say 10 minutes daily, and weekly reading of short articles. Our high-quality audio makes every word crystal clear, and our vibrant editing keeps you fun. Smash that like and subscribe button on our YouTube channel, and you'll race towards fluency faster than you thought. Why does grammar alone leave you stuck? Because English lives in real-world use, conversations, mistakes, and connections. Grammar gives you rules, but fluency comes from living the language. I studied conditionals, but couldn't say, "If I were you, I'd try," until I heard it on English Resonance's podcasts, noticing how natives emphasize were for effect. Listening trains your ear to natural rhythms. Speaking, even with errors, builds confidence. I'd say I messed up, but I'm learning, and keep going. Reading shows grammar in action, like the decision was made in stories, while writing cements it. Try this. Spend 15 minutes daily on English Resonance YouTube podcasts, repeating phrases like, "Let's give it a shot," and use them in chats or journals. Add 10 minutes of speaking practice and weekly reading. Our crisp audio and engaging editing make learning addictive. Smash that like and subscribe button on our YouTube channel and watch your fluency bloom beyond grammar. Balance is the key to fluency. Grammar gives you structure, but without listening, speaking, reading, and writing, you're like a builder with only a blueprint, no tools or materials. I'd memorized past perfect but struggled to use it until I heard it on English Resonance podcasts, like I had just left when she called. At A1, focus on simple sentences. At C2, play with nuanced expressions. I'd practice speaking phrases like, "I'm on the right track," and write short paragraphs to reinforce them. Reading articles helped me see grammar in context, like passive voice in news reports. Try this. Allocate your study time, 30% grammar, 30% listening to English Resonance YouTube episodes, 30% speaking practice, and 10% reading. Practice 5 phrases daily from our podcasts, use them in conversations, and read a short story weekly. Our high-quality audio and vibrant editing keeps you motivated. Subscribe to our English Resonance YouTube channel, hit that like button, and you'll build fluency holistically, turning grammar into living language. You're the driver of your English journey, and grammar is just your map, not the destination. Don't wait for perfection to speak or connect. Embrace mistakes, laugh, and let your grammar grow naturally through practice. English Resonance's YouTube podcasts are your co-pilot, offering high-quality audio and vibrant episodes to guide you from A1 to C2. I'd listen while jogging, practicing phrases like, "I'm on the right track," and soon I was using them in real life. Try this. Listen to One English Resonance episode daily, pick 5 phrases like, "This is a game changer," and practice them in conversations or mock scenarios. Read a short English story weekly, write a brief journal entry using new grammar. Our editing makes every episode a joy, keeping you pumped. If this episode sparked a new way to think about grammar, share it with friends. Smash that like and subscribe button on our YouTube channel and message me your goal level. I would love to hear it. Keep learning, keep speaking, and remember, You don't just study English, you become English. This is Elena, and I'll see you in the next episode, ready to soar to fluency.